So in this video we're going to learn about what an exothermic and an endothermic reaction is. So an exothermic reaction is one that produces heat and we can measure an increase in temperature. So we're going to show you an example of an exothermic reaction now, and then we'll do endothermic. Okay, so this is an example of an exothermic reaction. It's called the whoosh bottle. And we'll do it in normal speed and then slow-mo. So have a look at the observations and try to say why you think this is classified as an exothermic reaction. And now we'll do slow-mo. So hopefully you saw the example of the exothermic and the observations with the flame reduced to heat and the light given off. They're all forms of energy. So an endothermic reaction is one that takes in heat and we can measure a decrease in temperature. I'm going to show you an example of that now. Okay, so this is our example of an endothermic reaction. We've got two beakers of white powders. One's called barium hydroxide and one's called ammonium chloride. And we've got a temperature sensor connected up to the iPad. So at the minute it's just recording the room temperature. So we're going to add some water onto the block of wood. This is just to show you how the power of this experiment, or how cool this experiment can be. It's a pretty cool demo. And then we're going to put one of the beakers on top, and then into it we're going to add the ammonium chloride, mixing it in with the barium hydroxide. So remember, they're both solids, so it takes a wee while for them to react together. Normally solids don't react. It's very difficult for solids to react together. So you'll notice the change. It'll start to turn into a liquid and the temperature starting to drop. So remember, one of the points of an endothermic reaction is that we can measure a decrease in temperature. So when these two white solids mix together or react together, it's an endothermic reaction and it takes in heat from the surroundings. You maybe start to notice in the beaker starting to turn a bit of a liquid, and there's a smell coming off it, and it produces ammonia gas, which is quite whiffy. Your teacher might let you smell that when you're back in the lab. You see how the mixture in the beaker has changed. It's definitely not two white solids anymore. There's more of a liquid in it, and we're just trying to mix the last of the solids together. And the temperature has dropped. It is now at -5 degrees. Remember, it started at 20. It started at room temperature. So when an endothermic reaction takes in heat from surroundings, we measure a decrease in temperature. So it's now dropped to -10 degrees. Inside that beaker is -10 degrees. So the question is, or to make a prediction, what do you think has happened to the water on the block of wood between the wood and the beaker? What do you think has happened? -12.5. And if we try to lift the beaker, what will happen? So the water has frozen and has joined the beaker and the wood together. What makes it a pretty cool demo to do.